Most damage doesn't happen when a home is listed. It happens after the market says no. Today, I want to talk about what actually happens when a home doesn't sell and why what most sellers do next often makes the situation worse. When a home doesn't sell, most sellers assume something is wrong with the market or they just had bad luck. In reality, the market gives us feedback, and how you respond to that feedback matters more than the original listing. What usually happens next, and I see it happen over and over again, the listing expires or is withdrawn, the seller feels frustrated, and then they rush to relist, often making just one change. You guessed it, price. Price is usually the first step and often the only one. Lowering the price can help, but it doesn't fix everything. Buyers don't reset their perception just because the number changed. They remember the listing and they remember how long it sat. And if nothing else changes, buyers assume the problem hasn't changed either. An expired listing just doesn't lose time, it loses leverage. Put it this way, the longer a home sits, the more questions buyers start asking, even when the home itself is fine. Time on market creates a story, whether you control it or not. The biggest mistake sellers make after a home doesn't sell is trying to move forward without understanding why the market hesitated in the first place. And in this case, when I say market, I'm saying buyers. They treat it like a reset, but the market doesn't. In many cases, I'll recommend waiting about 3 weeks before relisting. That pause isn't about doing nothing, it's about resetting perception and giving yourself time to improve the buyer's first impression. It also gives the sellers an opportunity to make a small adjustment here or there that can have a big impact on how a home is experienced. I once worked with a seller who had priced their house correctly. The home was clean, well presented, and had one amenity that was very uncommon for the neighborhood. They had converted a hall closet into a stunning wet bar. The problem was, no one ever saw it. During the showings, that space was piled high with boxes, including countless boxes of Girl Scout cookies. What was meant to be an asset was being perceived as a liability. And during our short pause off market, while the owners were at a softball game, I moved those boxes into the garage. That was it. No renovation, no money spent, no price reduction. The home sold that same Saturday morning, full price, no concessions. Sometimes the changes that matter most aren't expensive or even time consuming. They're necessary adjustments that allow buyers to experience the home the way it was meant to be seen. That's why a short pause can be powerful, but it needs to be a productive pause. It allows you to fix what actually held the home back instead of rushing back to the market and hoping for a different outcome. A home not selling isn't a failure, but ignoring the reason it didn't sell, well, that can be. So your goal shouldn't be to relist quickly. It should be to relist correctly. That's how sellers regain leverage and avoid repeating the same outcome. I'm Frank Spencer, and until next time, I'll see you around the neighborhood.